KKHT wants you to meet the classiest guys in real estate.
This is Tim O'Neill, the icon of insurance.
I'm Chris Kelso, the Meister of Mortgage.
And I am Rob Cook, the godfather of real estate. And together we are
the Real Estate Rat Pack. Much like us, real estate in the greater Houston area is hot.
So whether you're buying, selling, owning, or insuring real estate in the greater Houston area,
you need to check us out as we are the preeminent source for everything you need to know.
And now, they're here to take your calls and answer your questions live. Call now, 1-800-808-5548. The Real Estate Rat Pack.
Good morning, Houston.
And we're getting better.
We've
only been practicing that. We're like, 6
Tim
months?
is actually finally starting to join the fray right here.
I know. Well, he's finally awake.
He's finally awake every once in a while.
So
What's that? Waking up at 6:30 in the morning and coming down to the Woodlands?
I'm not available right now, but please leave a message and I'll get back to you.
Oh, man, we have a great show today. Before we get started, a couple shout-outs I think we need to do.
Go ahead.
Number one is, what a tree pack event.
Oh, my gosh.
What an incredible tree pack event.
What did you say we raised?
We raised, I think, $750,000 so far.
And it's only March.
And it's only March. Let me tell you, Chance Brown and everybody over there, Dana and Chance and... Well, who am I missing, Tim? I mean, you know so many people. Oh, and the support staff between Karen and
Araceli.
And
Christy Borden last year set the bar high. I think Chance came into this year with a real challenge, and he's jumped all over it.
Yep. I mean, it was absolutely incredible. Great night, great people.
We took over the entire Tony's restaurant.
That is correct.
First time that's ever happened. We had Congressman Culberson,
yes,
Sheila Jackson Lee, Kevin Brady. We had Chris Brown from the city.
Right.
I mean, we had
Michelle Posey was there.
Michelle Posey was there.
No, actually, I mean, it was incredible. You know, it was fun to see also everybody involved with the Rat Pack was there. A lot of our guests, a lot of our current sponsors, Down Under Pools. But, you know, more importantly is it's about...
in the house, by the way.
Who's in the house right now with us and taking pictures and filming for us. But
and he has his pants on.
This event was open to anybody, right?
It's open to anybody who's a major investor.
Right? Oh, you had to be a what now?
You had to be a major investor.
Oh, really? Tell us, what is that, Chris? Tell us about that.
You actually have to give $1,000 to Tree Pack in a fiscal year, which actually goes October 1st to September 31st, I think it is, or 30th, whichever many days there are in September. And you have to give $1,000. Now, you have to commit to giving $1,000.
That's right.
So, you know, all of us sitting in here are major investors. I encourage everybody who's listening. You know, it definitely fights for all the Texas property rights.
Well, let's be careful now. Not everybody who's listening. All our realtors that are listening.
All of our realtors
are listening because we don't solicit to the public.
That is correct.
But we have another branch for that. But
so this is realtors only. Affiliates can't be involved in this?
Oh, no, absolutely. Affiliates can be involved since you are.
Since you are an affiliate, Tim.
But let's give a shout out to Ender and Thomas Mooten.
That was the next one I was going to do.
Okay, well,
yeah,
good.
Rootin' Tootin' Mootin'.
Beautiful offices. The Remax office right there in Bel Air.
Incredible offices right there in Bel Air. They had a great launch last night with Remax.
One of our guests on the show today was there last night, too.
Experience, that is correct. And more importantly is beautiful office, and they raised a lot of money for Elijah Rising.
That's right.
And so that was very, very good. And then
did we win anything?
I didn't get a phone call, so I guess that means no. And then lastly but not least, and certainly but not least, a big shout out to my dear friend Jody Manfred and her husband Josh, doing a lot better. Actually, he got out and has been moved into a different area.
Awesome.
Within the hospital system, obviously. And so prayers are definitely working. I tell everybody continued prayers and a quick recovery for Josh, but I want to give a big shout out there as well.
Good. So, I hadn't had an update. Thank you so much for the update.
Well, there you go. In fact, you and about another 400,000 people just got the update.
There you go. Just saying. So you brought these people on today, Chris. So
hey, don't blame it on me. You were right there with me.
You seemed like really nice. So I'm okay with that.
You know, we were actually in an event. I was actually in an event with Bill Napick, by the way.
Out trolling for guests.
Yes,
again, huh?
I was. Bill Napick with Stuart and I were together. We were actually giving a class, if I'm not mistaken, about public speaking, which I think you were there, Rob.
Certainly wasn't about hair care.
It definitely wasn't about hair care, Mr. Good Hair. And we were sitting there, and she walked up to us, and she said, "I've got this new business that we're starting in the real estate industry, and I want to talk to you about it." And so we started talking a little bit right there, and very interesting, very good stuff. And we said, you know what? Why don't we do something one better? Why don't we bring you on air and really start talking about it once it's ready to be launched?
That's a name that can't be really attractive to millennials and stuff. I wonder if they have anything to do with this model.
I don't know. That's pretty interesting, right?
Yeah, so.
Good for you, because boy, you don't know how many people come up to us at parties and tell us about their interesting things they do and what a great radio show it would make. Not everybody gets this far, believe me.
That is true, and not all businesses make it this far, so trust me on that. We have a lot of good ideas, but we have 10-Minute Realty in the house with
Rina
us.
Camhi.
Yes.
The H is silent. I've already been coached.
Yes, absolutely.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. I know I've met each of you individually on various occasions,
Yeah,
and
I'm apologizing right now.
And
For his
and
behavior.
I've never had you all in one room at once, so I'm a little bit scared, but
Be
all
scared.
good.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Hey,
She's heard.
you got to have a goal.
But all good. Very excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
So, tell us what that's all about.
Okay.
I mean,
So yes,
That
so
was
we
a
are
very
a
penetrating question. right
yes.
there.
Yes.
Well, I'll leave it on
The hard-hitting journalism of Rob. Tell us what that's about.
no, and that's a great segue into telling my story, because that's the way I like to start. That's how all great ideas start, is my story. So I've been a real estate broker in the Houston area for over 15 years, created a property management company with my husband, who runs that company full time now. And what I saw was a big need. In the 15 years of doing business, I would have an average of 5 to 30 listings out at any given time, with phone calls coming in regularly on all of my listings. And what I found was, over the years, is the calls would come in, I would schedule them out, and they didn't want to be scheduled out. They wanted to be met today, because their time is precious. And it didn't matter that I was super educated. I'm an attorney. I'm a broker. I'm a certified negotiating expert. I'm a master certified negotiating expert. I had all these things behind my name. And at the end of the day, it was all about the consumer's time.
It's really more about availability.
Right.
And so if I couldn't meet them that day, they moved on. And so...
Wait a minute, you can't move on? Look how smart I am.
I know! You would think. So I attended a couple of functions, heard about the number one issue that the consumer has with regard to non-responsiveness of agents. And I said, boom, it's a no-brainer. I got the balls, churning and burning. And 2 years ago, we started development, and we launched May of last year. And here we are. I have close to 400 agents signed on in the Houston area, and we are now going to the consumer. So we are now opening the door for the consumer to start using our product and requesting agents on their schedule.
Now, in this product, then, so let's sort of describe it. How does someone use 10-Minute Realty? How does a consumer use 10-Minute Realty?
Yes. So think about how you bought your house. You're driving the neighborhoods
Right.
of the houses you want to see, and you see that house. You want to get in and see it. So you stand in front of the home, download my app, request a showing instantly, and the nearest member agent of my tool that's available will meet you within minutes. Now, the goal with the name is not necessarily that they be at the door within 10 minutes. What I want is a response. I want them to immediately text them or call them and let them know they're on their way, introduce themselves. And from there, it's all about the agent's expertise. And every study out there has shown that you have a face-to-face meeting with a customer and you genuinely want to help them with their need, they will hire you. So.
And, and some of the numbers we were talking about, in fact, this is something that you talked about whenever Bill and I were with you, is it was, and I don't know, it was a national number, I don't know, a local number, 1 million calls a month, or
Yes.
there was a huge amount of phone calls in the real estate industry that go unanswered.
There's not just 1 million, it's
Right.
4 million a
4
year.
million a year.
Nationally, 4 million a year go unanswered. And
Right.
that's a lot of money out the door.
We tested it there. I remember I was down with a friend of mine down in Galveston, and not only once, we called twice. He was talking about beachfront property, and never heard from him.
Right.
So I know that issue exists and stuff like that. And of course, you can take a lesson from the Uber drivers. When they get a call in, they have 10 seconds to respond, or it goes to the next Uber driver.
Right.
And so the goal with this really is to be, it doesn't replace the fact that you have to be the most educated realtor, because we promote a lot of education. You still have to be licensed under a reputable broker. You still have to get all the education possible. You still have to know the market. You're not going to just arrive not knowing what's going on in the neighborhood. So everything else is still business as usual. What I am giving you is a face-to-face meeting within minutes, and my goal is to get an agent at every door across the country within minutes to respond to the consumer's need on their time.
And, and with what's been going on in real estate here recently, I mean, we look at the past 3 years. Let's look at the hyperness that we've had here in Houston. Just taking Houston as an example.
Right.
I mean, it was absolutely, I can tell you from a lending perspective, we needed a pre-approval, and we had pre-approval now to get submitted. And if I wasn't there or somebody on my staff wasn't there to get it right then and there, they moved on. You're absolutely right. And, even though the market has still normalized a little bit from what it was 2 years ago, one of the things that individuals still want is they still want action today.
Correct.
They still want people to, take action because it's still a fast-moving market.
Correct.
And you can lose out on opportunities if you're not moving as fast as what that opportunity is.
Exactly. So we have to stay at the pace of our consumers. And the way it stands now, the average age of a real estate agent is 57 years old, and the consumer's the millennial. So there's a big disconnect.
Right.
And so that's what I capitalized on, is the fact that the consumer needs things now, and we as real estate agents and brokers have to understand that and get up to the plate and communicate with the millennials the way they would like to be communicated to.
They're the age where on the internet, if they can't get a response back immediately on the internet, they just move on. It's
right.
Pretty simple. So
Yep.
We've been watching that trend for a long time, but for a while the millennials were not in the marketplace. But now they are. They're looking to buy homes and things of that nature, or rental homes, and they still want that response. And
Rob Hahn was pretty interesting when he talked about the millennial movement, and one of the things that was going on in regards to that is, for a long time when they got out and they were graduating, there weren't jobs, so you look back in 2008 and what took place, and then it took about 4 years for the job market to recover, and so a lot of them went back, lived at home, have student debt, et cetera, et cetera. And now what's happened? The market's really opened up. We've got a lot of job activity out there. Individuals are now, they're getting married a little bit older, 27, 28.
a lot smarter than I am.
I
That is
saw that.
correct. And so they want to get out there and start getting into a home, and then now they're getting back in the market. And the millennial is they are a bigger
They're bigger than the
population
boomers.
than the boomers.
And the boomers are basically, we're dying off. So
Right.
I won't tell my dad that.
Rob, you're not going anywhere, buddy.
but that's the trend. And of course, Rob Hahn described them as the rental generation, and he's done a tremendous amount of studies on those trends.
Right.
But what I don't know that he caught was the fact that they do ultimately want to own a home, because his impression was that they didn't want to be bothered with the responsibility of home ownership. But I think everyone intrinsically wants to own where they live.
Right.
I think it's just a very natural need.
And something I wanted to add, I'm a huge proponent of supporting real estate agent and realtors in the nationwide. So our jobs are not going away. I'm very excited, and I am here to support them and make sure that we have the most educated agents out there doing this job, because we are the face of our industry, and we have a reputation to uphold, and that's very, very important to us as a company.
No, I would absolutely agree. And as you mentioned, you're still going to send somebody out there who knows the market, who knows the marketplace, who is professional, who is reputable. So it's not like you're trying to circumvent and get the cheapest one out there.
No.
What you're doing is just getting somebody out there to create that it's still you're creating a relationship
Exactly.
faster.
And the one statistic that has not changed since the inception of our industry, from the get-go, pre-internet, post-internet, is 89% of people still use real estate agents to buy and lease their homes. So that has not changed. So we are not going anywhere.
And and per Bill Napick, by the way, it still takes 22 minutes from Pearland to Houston, by the way, not 15.
Oh, Larry Brooks said it was 15 minutes, and he stood by again last night.
I know, and I will tell you, Bill just texted me and said it took him 22 minutes to get from Shadow Creek Ranch to his house last night, which is right there in the Galleria. So he was proving it.
Hey, what I would do if I had a great company like yours called 10 Minute Realty, I would get busy as fast as I could copywriting 9-minute realty, 8-minute realty, and 7-minute realty, so some competitor clown doesn't come in there and
that's a great idea.
muddling
Guess
your
what?
message.
You know what?
Guess
We
what I'm
are-
gonna be tonight.
We are 10 steps ahead of you. So we have a patent pending on the process and the technology, and our intention is to go global. United States, Australia, Canada. We have patents already. We have made inroads nationally and locally at the same time. We're working it on both ends, and it's very, very exciting. We're getting tremendous reception.
And now you're on the #1 real estate
I'm so
show
excited.
in the world, in my opinion. And so, guess what?
Rina,
it's
don't
national
go away.
launch
We're
now.
going to have to go away on a break.
That is true.
Josh
We
is over there going kind of nuts. He's like,
Absolutely, but stay tuned. We'll be right back.